fine gentleman named Rick Campbell, and he was kind of an architect in a way, and did architectural design, and had much success working with Mary and Knott in the Roaring Twenties area. So he said, well, you've got a lot of energy and ideas. I would like to take the ideas and make them more real. You're kind of young and everything. And I said, great, I'd love to do that. So I pitched an idea for a ride. When Tim asked me to be on the panel, I thought it might be kind of fun to say, well, what would the one unbuilt ride we could show you? What ride never made it to Ghost Town that you in the audience could see? So it was a concept called Flash Flood Rapids, and I guess today you would rename it El Nino's Revenge or something. But it was the idea of Ghost Town sinking. Imagine if Ghost Town was sinking. So it's kind of like it's a mashup of a log ride, or imagine being able to go on a rafting river ride. And this company, Aero Development, had been developing a brand new, flexible boat. It was almost like a real rubber raft that could really have dynamics to it. So well, what if you took that or a barrel or something like that and did a ride? So the first image was the idea is that, imagine looking down the street of Ghost Town and then seeing the buildings get smaller and smaller in the distance. That's because there's a lagoon, and you would work your way walking up to this lagoon over bridges and waterfalls of all this wreckage. I mean, train cars have been wrecked and all kinds of things. And you finally find yourself up at the top of this kind of mountain in this mill, and that's where you would board yourself into these barrels that had been hollowed out. Let's go to the next one. Of course, then you see up in the left-hand corner, you go out in this placid lagoon, and then all of a sudden, the dam breaks, and whoa, you go down the hill and into the ammo tent, and things are gonna blow up and all this kind of Knott's Berry Farm kind of thing, And then you find yourself down at the bottom of the hill, and now you're in this lagoon that's a town. Let's take a look at that. Of course, you have to land at a soap factory, a strategically placed soap factory, so everybody's hit with soap bubbles, This kind of helps keep, it's like Purell should sponsor this. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but anyway, you go through this fun soap factory, so you have a little bit of fun, and then you go down the main street of the ghost town, and there's all kinds of crazy wreckage, and I mean, it's literally, it's kind of a Katrina-esque theme park attraction. And then right here behind Eric's head.
I wonder why they get a good bill.
Yeah, well, this was long before anyone even thought about that. Yeah. So this is where you go through Boot Hill, and of course, all the coffins are finding their way back up to the surface in very exciting ways.
So this is the poetry guys.
Yeah, the Undertaker's there, the Vultures are there. So let's just continue on through our journey. And then, of course, you're going to end up going to the general store, and all this stuff from the bottom of the store is surfacing and splashing you. These guys will never interrupt their card game. They're still playing on the chandelier, still gambling after all these years. Gamblers kind of want to finish the hand before they let it go. And of course, you have to go through the stable where things are tumbling on you. But this one guy up here, the flood saved him from being hanged, the horse thief. The other guy's trying to save his cash register. This gentleman in the hotel, you go right through all these buildings. There's a horse underneath this thing. The horse surfaces, kind of like the hippo in the Jungle Cruise, right? And surfaces, there's all kinds of fun things going on. And of course, at the very end, the water has to find the lowest possible level. So you get sucked into a harrowing mine shaft and taken down a absolutely terrifying waterfall. And then you're at the end of the ride. So anyway, that was the idea for the ride. And I kind of as I'm doing now, I was trying to make people forget about the washers and dryers and sell myself into a job. But without the Knott family, I would have never had the career or anything I have today without anybody listening. And this is what's very much in threat today, is people looking into someone's eyes, seeing the passion and seeing what they could be and giving them a chance. Yeah. And I think that's what I really have to be very thankful for the whole Knott family. And I didn't even have the money to drive to one of these vendors to do one of the projects. So Russell Knott had a Ford Ranchero, a red Ford Ranchero, and he's like, well, here's my credit card, drive this, They made things happen. When you work for a family, it's totally different than working for a big plastic corporation. Now, they are a business. Well, no. Well, I don't work for anybody right now. Probably never will again, right? but corporations are different than families. And today we're talking about the past and how a ghost town got here. And it's not, and Cedar Fair obviously put the money and investment in to retain that and make it something amazing, and they have, But when I look at this, none of these things could happen without people using their guts and their instinct to make business decisions versus an administrative no. And I think that's what made it special for me, and just gave us the opportunity for it.
Now,